All right, live for the world, for all to see. All right. Well, Justin, thank you so much for joining us today on the Origins Life podcast. I know you're a busy guy and got a lot going on, so you taking your time it's big. It's important.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So the Origins Life podcast is designed to kind of look at our life in panoramic. Looking at our life in hindsight, we're able to kind of put some or connect some dots, but then also it serves a bigger purpose because even though we're all different and unique and all our stories are diverse, yet there's a common human story
Absolutely.
That we all share.
Yeah.
And when you're able to take the diversity, especially like a city like Las Vegas, and you're able to kind of celebrate the diversity and honor it and give voice to it, all of a sudden the difference between two individuals seems much less. And so it's an exercise for the individual to kind of take a look at their life, walk down memory lane, if you would, but then also for just the average listener, they're able to see someone that may look different than them or think different than them, but yet at the end of the podcast, I believe there's a strong compulsion to maybe rethink or revisit some ideas that we have about people.
I don't know.
Yeah.
you like to think.
Yes, there's hope, man. I believe it. So, Justin, let's start with the beginning. So let's start with your upbringing. Start from there.
I was born and raised in Las Vegas, so I'm a native. I'll be 42 this month, so I was actually born in the Air Force Base. My dad was in the Air Force. So I did live in England for a couple of years when I was a child, but most of my life, especially my adult life, all here in Las Vegas. I started in fitness like 12 years old, really, and I've never looked back. So fitness has been my whole identity. So I'm from Vegas, but I've never been drunk. I've never been high, so I'm not your typical Vegas person.
Never been drunk or high and lived in Vegas your whole life.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not a religious thing. Again, I got into fitness. I'm very pig-headed. So people tried to get me to drink. It wasn't going to happen. I never drank in high school or anything. So was in sports and athletics and then just turned into weights. And weights changed my life, to be honest. I mean, it's funny because people see me on Instagram or Facebook and they, of course, automatically assume because I do a lot of shirtless douchebag selfies that I'm extremely arrogant or very, self-confident. And the reality is I'm not. And I was really bad as a child. So I had some deep-seated self-esteem issues. I used to cut myself in junior high school. I was a cutter. So I had some self-esteem issues, and I got picked on a lot. I was really small, really thick glasses, and I started lifting weights in my bedroom. I got my first weight set when I was 12, and it gave me self-confidence. I liked what I saw better. So, yeah, it's nice when girls think you look good, muscles and all that shit, but it's from me, started from me, for me. It's always been about me. I'd work out in an empty room by myself with no one. If no one ever saw me shirtless again, I wouldn't care. I mean, it really is something to build self-esteem. So that's what got me into fitness and has kept me there, like locked me in. It's like I see you in the gym all the time. You're a very fit person. It becomes a lifestyle and it becomes a necessity. You need it, whether you realize it or not. You don't go to the gym or whatever, exercise for a few days, you start to feel off. Everybody has their routines, whatever they may be. Everybody has their vices, whatever they may be. You might like to binge watch Netflix while someone wants to go for a run or do yoga or whatever. Everybody has to have a physical vice, I believe, to burn off some energy. Yeah. So it's always been something that's, been my thing. And then I got into personal training, just like the cliche meathead, like we all do. But I love it. I love what I do. I could do plenty of other things to make a lot more money, but I love what I do. I literally help change people's lives. Because anytime you take someone who's considered fat or out of shape and help them to change themselves, it's very empowering for them. You always hear the same things from them. Oh, you changed my life. I didn't change shit. You did all the work. Right. But if someone doesn't know the path and you teach them the path or you show them the path to anything, the enlightenment of that field, then you've changed their life. So I'm thankful to be involved in a lot of people's fitness journeys. It's what keeps me going. I enjoy it. And that's kind of why I got into the clothing line. I wanted something for myself in the fitness realm. So I started a fitness clothing line,
Right. So at 12 years old, you found weightlifting as a release, as an identity, a self-confidence booster. Yeah. At 12. So what was it like growing up in Vegas? Obviously you've been here your whole life.
Well, it was a long time ago, so it's not like the craziness of now. I mean, this is before social media. I couldn't date till I was 16. No one in my family could date till 16. I have 3 sisters and a brother. So my birthday's the end of June, so I didn't turn 16 till like my junior year. So my freshman, sophomore year, what the hell else was I going to do? I mean, I did so many crunches in my bedroom, you can ask my parents. I burned a hole in the carpet in front of my bed. I'm not kidding. I did thousands of crunches. I had a log. I was crazy. I wanted Marky Mark abs, so I did what it took. You know, it's always been something that I was able to do. If I wanted something, I put my mind to it, and I just keep going till I get it. Yeah. So fitness was my release because I couldn't really do anything else. Right. I couldn't date or anything. So yeah. It is what it is.
Well, Marky Mark, you're going to have to give an equivalent to the current generation.
Well, everyone knows Mark Wahlberg. Most of these kids nowadays don't know he used to rap.
Yes.
So he was an underwear model. So we all saw that, and we all wanted those abs. So
Marky Mark.
You do what you got to do.
And the Funky Bunch.
That's right. That's right. Taking it back. I'm 42, so, you know, old school.
That's right. You know, it's interesting when you bring up, you know, 80s, 90s culture. Sure, everyone could say, back in my day, but man, those were some different times. It was such a dynamic time to be growing up in, because you have, for the first time, you're touching technology. For the first time, you're having access.
Well, we were. I mean, are you close to my? I'm not even sure how old you are.
I'm 37 here.
Okay, you're 37, so you're a little bit younger than me. But I was there for the inception of the cell phone. I was there for, you know, we had beepers when I was in high school. Kids nowadays don't even know what the fuck a beeper is.
Right.
And of course they don't. You know, we had cassette tapes. I was there when CDs first came out, and now they don't even exist. So we were there when cell phones. I mean, you'd have to page me, and I would call you from a payphone. Do you even know of a payphone anywhere around this town now?
No.
Again, these are things that technology has burned out. But again, before Facebook and Instagram, you had to interact with people more. And so Facebook and Instagram, yes, they connect people easier. But again, we're lazy by nature. So if you make it easier, then no one makes an effort.
Right.
You know, text messaging, it's awesome. Yeah, it's great. It's the death of the conversation. You don't conversate with anyone because you can text them. So when someone says, oh, we had to talk about that, you didn't have a talk. You had a type. You typed to me. We didn't talk. You can't get context and tone in a text message. So to me, it's the death of the conversation. If you can really get to know somebody through text messaging, you're magic, because I need context and tone. I'm a smart ass. I make a lot of jokes. If you read my text message, you're going to think I'm just a pure dick, because you can't get sarcasm in a text. So again, we're from a generation where, you know, we didn't have all this. And now, I mean, cyberbullying and shit, nothing's a secret. You can't, you know, everything's to everybody. So your life is more, you know, in everyone's eyes. So these young kids now, everyone can see what they're doing. So I understand there's a lot more pressure on a child in junior high schools, for example, or high school.
Right. So
because anything they do, every single person that they know or don't even know is going to find out about it, because someone throws it out there on the internet.
So you didn't have a lot of the pressures that a lot of kids have today.
Not
growing
like
up
that.
Here in Vegas,
No.
Back in the 80s, when obviously the boom hadn't taken place.
Yeah.
You're pretty much giving yourself over to weightlifting and exercise.
We didn't have school shootings back then, man.
Right.
I didn't see rampant racism or bigotry in high school when I was there. I didn't see a lot of bullying.
Yeah.
You know, but it was, I want to say, a tougher society. I think society as a whole now is just so wussified. It's insane. Everything's bullying.
Right.
A little kid calling another kid fat is bullying. Like, no, that's what kids do. When you're 10, you poke fun at someone else. It's what you do. You're picking on them. You're not bullying them, not in my opinion. Mm-hmm. To me, bullying is when it comes physical. When someone's taking your lunch money or pushing you around, that's bullying. If someone's verbally mean to you, get the fuck out of my face with that. It's so petty. Come on. Sticks and stones, man.
Right.
So we just grew up a little tougher. We grew up, you know, you go outside and play in the dirt and you get hurt, you be fine.
Right.
You know, it was a different generation.
What about your parents? How were they raising you? What was their influence like?
Well, my dad was military, so my upbringing was very strict. I come from a broken home, though. You know, my dad and stepmom, and then my mom and stepdad, so it was different. You know, on my dad's side, it was very strict. You know, very military style, yes sir, no sir type thing. With my mom, way more liberal. You know, I could curse and get away with it. It was two different lifestyles, basically.
Mm-hmm. But they both lived here in town. So,
well, if you want to get deep into it, when I was in the 4th grade, my stepdad was beating myself and my brother so bad that we had to move to England. My dad was stationed in England. And my grandmother actually called my dad, told my dad that my stepdad was beating us. And so my dad sent her plane tickets, and my mother's mother, my grandmother, scooped us up while they were at work, took us to the airport. We flew to England. That's why I was in England for a couple of years.
Wow. Until
my dad got restationed back in Vegas.
Now, you mentioned it like it wasn't much of a big deal.
I'm 42, yeah. It's not a big deal anymore.
Just kind of moved on from it?
Yeah, I'm not that person. I think everybody's had traumas in their life, okay? Everybody's had them, so you're not special. I had some trauma as a kid. I'm not a kid anymore.
Right.
And if I let that trauma affect me now, that's on me. I'm not going to say it didn't shape the way I am. Yeah, maybe I'm pig-headed and stubborn because my stepdad used to beat the living shit out of me. But it is what it is, and you have to accept it, deal with it, and move on. It wasn't my fault, so.
How old were you when that was taking place?
I was in the 4th grade, so that makes me, shit, how old are you in the 4th grade? I don't even remember.
Yeah. I don't know, probably 12?
Yeah.
11?
Yeah, I think I was
11?
about that age.
So obviously, well old enough.
And then when I came back
it.
here, I was in England for 5th and 6th grade. So that's how old I was, because I was in the 4th grade when this happened. Flew to England. I did the 5th and 6th grade there, and then flew back. Now, I'm not going to say that when I got back here, I didn't have, get kicked out of school. I had the temper issues, and I had a mouth on me pretty bad, because you really couldn't hurt me, because when your dad, your huge man, is beating the shit out of you, you talk shit to everybody. So again, I'm sure it made me mouthier, made me created some of my personality traits that maybe aren't the best from a young age. But then as an adult, it's incumbent upon you to try to identify these and fix them if you can, So I don't dwell on shit like that, because to me that's an excuse. Oh, my daddy beat me. Okay. Everyone has a trauma. Everybody has it's like my physical issue now. Like, everybody has something. I don't need anyone's pity or so. I don't need that, because it is what it is. You have what you have. Deal with it and move forward. You have to. Life is only quality of life. If your quality of life is shit because you sit and wallow about everything that's happened to you, that's on you. There's a lot of beautiful things in this world to experience. When people say life is hard, it makes me, what the fuck are you doing? Why? Why is it so hard? Because it's not so hard. Mm-hmm. We don't live in a third world country. Come on. It's not hard. You ain't walking 30 miles to get some water in this country, pretty much. So there's so much. What my problem with most people is they just don't. They're not thankful for what they have. Everybody takes everything for granted, and believe me, you have a medical scare in your life, and you'll start changing your perspective on things. So
sober you up pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So before we get there, let's talk about your post-high school years then. So obviously you came back here, you finished up high school. Yeah. You've kind of summed it up. You were basically just a gym rat, kept to yourself, didn't party. So, I mean, it sounds boring, but in a way it was.
Well, the thing people say, I want your body, Justin, but I don't want the sacrifices. And I'm like, because people in the fitness industry like myself like to be self-righteous and like to say, well, I sacrificed. Mm-hmm. What the fuck did I sacrifice? I preferred going to the gym than going to my senior prom, which I was prom king for, which I didn't go because I was busy going to the gym, because I don't give a fuck. It's
so
not
they
sacrifice.
Nominated you and you were lifting weights.
Well, I wanted to go to the gym that night. There's been many things that I've missed because I went to the gym. I didn't miss them because I had to. You don't diet because you have to. Right. You don't compete because you have to. You don't work out because you have to. You do it because you want to. But then you want some kind of attention or some kind of pat in the back. Oh, you've sacrificed. You don't drink. I don't drink because I don't fucking want to. I can drink whenever I want. I'm a grown-ass man.
Right.
I can eat or drink whatever I want, whenever I want. I can go out every night if I want to. I don't want to. I'm perfectly content sitting on my couch with my 3 dogs watching a movie.
Doesn't line up with your goals, your plans.
Again, I think some people are just mentally weak. They can't go out and have fun if they're not drinking. It's like, oh, it just makes it funner. Like I feel sad for people like that.
Yeah.
I'm not being self-righteous. I'm just saying, like, drinking is fine. Drink. Do whatever you want to do. But if you have to drink to have fun, I feel for you. Like,
you just don't want a crutch.
You can't, like, oh, I smoke weed to help me sleep. You can't sleep without weed. That sucks. Which is why I don't do substances like that, because I don't want to have to rely on anything. I never even took pre-workout on a regular basis because I don't want to rely on it. So you rely on going out and you have to drink to have fun. Fuck that. I have plenty of fun. I'm a big bag of laughs. I'm a jackass. I don't need alcohol to do that. So I don't judge someone if they drink. Every girl I've ever dated and all my friends drink. I don't give a shit. My parents they drink. We have game night. When my mom gets drunk is the best part. But for me personally, I've not made any sacrifices because I didn't do this or I don't do that or I don't have cake, and I choose the life I live.
Okay.
We all choose our lives.
Yeah. Whether we know it or not.
Yeah, well, I hate my job. Well, then don't go to your fucking job anymore. Get another one. And then what happens? Something happens. They get fired from that job and they're terrified. But bam, 2 weeks later, they get into a better situation. But they didn't have the balls to do that on their own. Something bad had to happen. So that's the thing. You have to look at the things that happen to you as learning experiences, because they'll teach you, if nothing else, about yourself. And that's the most important thing. Oh, I couldn't handle if that happened. Then it happens and you seem to handle it. You don't die. And then you're like, okay, I can handle this. That's the only way you learn how to handle traumas, because you had traumas.
Right. So tell us about the years after high school then. So you graduate and you stay around. So you're becoming your own person. What's happening in your life after high school?
I moved out right after high school. As soon as I turned 18, my dad was like, pay rent or leave. And so I moved out, started working in hotels. I've worked in hotels most of my life, besides now personal training. Just, again, I worked out, did the gym thing, just trying to find my way in life. That's it. I really don't, relationships don't go too well for me. So
okay.
We don't need to get into that.
So you've stayed here your whole life then, other than those 2 years in England, you've been here in Vegas.
3 years in England. First grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, yeah.
So for the last 39 years, or not last 39 years, but for 39 years out of your 42 years, you've been here in Vegas.
Yeah.
So you were just finding odds and end jobs just to get by?
I worked in casinos mostly, hotels, Bell departments. You know, I had good jobs, but it was just the industry that I was used to, the hospitality industry. Mm-hmm. So, you know, nightclubs never really, it's not really something I wanted to be in. I had friends that worked in them, and I feel like it just sucks the life out of you.
Yeah.
So I could work jobs like that and make a lot more money,
yeah.
But it sucks the life out of you. And I had more important things. Money doesn't make me happy. You know, money would make me happy if I could buy the things for my people that I care about. But money itself, the pursuit of money is, to me, the pursuit of money can become very evil very quickly.
Kind of the American dream that is the default goal.
I mean, everybody, to me, money is, financial freedom is the greatest joy, because if nothing else, I don't really care about shiny shit for myself, but my biggest goal in life is to retire my father. If I could retire my father, that would be the biggest dream ever. So that takes money. So it's not like I don't pursue money, but I don't pursue money at the, stepping on someone else's throat to get it type thing. Mm-hmm. I don't like people like that. So money's never been my driving force. I don't believe success is directly, related to how much money you make.
Yes.
I'm happy. I live a happy life. I have a great family. I have great friends. I'm happy.
Right.
I'd be happier if I had a lot of money, but I'm still happy, because if you're not happy, all the money in the world is not going to make you happy. So happy is a state of mind. I mean, it really is.
So when did you get into training then? How old were you when you officially started doing personal training at a full-time capacity?
I've been training now about 5 years.
Okay.
At LVAC. Yeah.
Only 5?
Yeah. Professionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you obviously got into bodybuilding and...
yeah, I competed for about 12 years.
Okay, so tell us about that.
Ugh. Don't do it. That's what I would tell. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
If you want body issues, you want serious body and eating issues, then get into competing is what I would say.
Right. You got into it shortly after high school then?
Well, actually, my first competition, I believe I was like 28 years old, the first time I actually did a show.
Okay.
It was the first show. I think 2004 was my very first show. Now, I lived that life, but I didn't compete because, again, I was very insecure, and getting in Speedos in the crowd is not my idea of fun. So I had a friend, a really good friend of mine that we were working at the time, and he's like, I'm going to do it with me. And I only did it because we did it together type thing. And then I just got into it because for me, it was the mental challenge, getting to a level of conditioning that not many can. Anyone can, but not many do because they don't have the mental fortitude to do it, because it really is 100% mental. It's 100%. Self-discipline is mental. Making yourself do shit, whether you want to or not, is self-discipline, and that's 100% mental. It's making yourself do the physical things you have to do. So for me, it was a mental challenge to, eat right for 12 to 16 weeks consistently, to try and get your body as lean as physically possible. It was a challenge. So that's the only reason I did it, because getting on stage, I fucking hated that part of it.
Now, for someone that is not into bodybuilding, maybe they're a marginal exerciser, tell them about the experience of being a high performing bodybuilder. What does it entail?
I mean, honestly, it's anything a normal person does juiced up times 20. Like, you're just way more neurotic about what you eat. You're very specific about what you eat. Your training is important in the fact that you can't skip, you can't miss, and then it becomes, again, you start marrying yourself mentally to those things, and you feel like you can't miss a workout. Missing a workout's not going to kill you. But when you're a bodybuilder, unfortunately, you become so dumb in the head that you think it will kill you. Missing a workout, oh my God, I'm going to die. It's going to blow my gains. Like, that's not how it works. One bad meal doesn't get you in shape. I'm sorry, one bad meal doesn't get you out of shape, and one good meal doesn't get you. You know, it doesn't work that way. What you do consistently is what you'll be. So I see you in the gym all the time working out. You're a very fit person because you work out consistently. I don't see you once a month. I see you all the time. Consistency will yield the results. And that's all bodybuilding is. It's just the consistency level. Whether you work out every day or 5 days a week, it's consistently. It never changes. It's very robotic in the sense because you can't eat sporadically. You can't. Everything has to be on a clock in the sense of it's routined. Your body gets used to getting the same thing every day at the same time, and then it gets routine. It's not all over the place. You don't go 3 hours for eat and then 7 hours to eat. It's not sporadic like that because you won't see the results if you're sporadic like that.
Right. So you started competing professionally. Did it take it to a whole nother level once?
Oh, Jesus Christ. The drugs involved that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the chemistry involved alone is a whole bunch of issues just with all the chemistry you have to take because your human body doesn't want to get, it doesn't really want to get under 5% naturally. I mean, it just doesn't want to get that low. It's actually not healthy to be 3% body fat, 2%. It's just not healthy, especially to sustain that. So competition level is insanely bad for you as far as medically speaking because the dehydration level that's what's killed the majority of bodybuilders is dehydration.
Wow. So is it safe to say that during the competition, the least fit person in that room are the people on the stage?
Oh, yeah. I'd say
the least healthy people.
Well, what I would say is what I would always say is, who's going to win the show or who looks the best? Basically, the guy closest to death is the one that's probably going to look the best because he's the one that's dried to the bone, which is completely unhealthy. You can go into cardiac arrest from being dehydrated at that level. So and again, you're pumping so many fucking drugs in you that your heart wants to explode. So it's one of those things where you look a certain way and you feel a completely different way. Usually, if you look really good, you feel like dog shit.
So the smiling is probably the hardest thing up there.
Oh, yeah. My first couple shows, I'd have my parents and my friends yelling, smile, and I was like so miserable. I'm like, fuck you, I'm not smiling.
I remember seeing you at the gym before your competitions, some of your shows, and I remember just seeing your face, and you just had like a growl, like a constant growl.
People say that. I wouldn't say it makes you mean. What I would say is for the normal person, picture working a double shift.
Just suffering.
Every day. You work a double shift every day, and you also don't feel good at the same time. You feel like you're kind of sick, and you're working a double shift. You don't feel right. You feel off, and you feel very tired and lethargic. So people say, oh, you're so gruff and mean. Like, nobody wants to have a conversation when they're exhausted and they feel like shit.
Yes.
And that's how you kind of feel for the last couple of weeks. It just depends on your process. And the better you get at it, the less it is like that, but it's still going to be like that. To the end, you can't get away from that. You start cutting your fluids and getting really, it's the extremeness of it.
Right.
It's very bad.
What drives human beings to go to such great lengths? Now, we're talking about your life here being weight training, but if you talk about just the human drive, I mean, what causes people to give themselves to something to such a degree?
I think it's anything. It's a challenge. No matter what if you want to master yoga poses or become a better runner, it's the challenge. You can't do it. Therefore, you want to do it and try to overcome that challenge. There's a competitive spirit in all of us. It's just different degrees. Mm-hmm. Some people are mildly competitive, and some people are very competitive. So it's not really competing with the person next to you. And it's very cliche. Oh, me against me. The reality is, it is, because if you keep faltering, you get upset with yourself for faltering. So you're like, I'm going to do it this time and not falter. It's that challenge to overcome that. Now, you see other people being successful at it, and that's what makes you feel like, well, what the fuck? If Stacy can do it, I can do it. We judge ourselves on other people. Whether that's right or wrong, it's what we do. We all do that. You see someone doing what you want to be doing, and you think, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Because the reality is, if they can do it, you can do it. So you have to try, the challenge of getting to there or where you want to be or whatever. So people are chasing each other because they're chasing what that person's accomplished or what they've become. And that's just the way we are.
Mm-hmm. So you've recently had some health problems, and that's probably putting it mildly. So can you, and I know you don't like to wallow and you don't like to rub your bruises.
I mean, I have medical issues. I was diagnosed with renal failure. My kidneys failed the day before Thanksgiving. Also, I have congestive heart failure. So I'm in need of a kidney transplant. So I have dialysis 3 times a week to keep me alive. It is what it is. Day before Thanksgiving, I went to the hospital because my nose wouldn't stop bleeding, and I got immediately admitted and was in ICU I was in the hospital 15 days, but I was in ICU for a week. The first couple of days were really bad. I coded once. It was bad. I was very sick. They pumped me full of, when you're really sick and your blood's poisoned, they'll pump you full of fluids, IVs and shit. Like you see, oh, he's on IV. They put me 42 pounds of fluid into me. So I really couldn't even get up the first 5 days. I physically couldn't get out of the bed. I couldn't get up.
And how long ago was this?
The day before Thanksgiving. So the first half of December, I was in the hospital.
Wow. It's recent.
Yeah. I've been on dialysis for like 6 months now. So
could you sense that there was a kind of a climax? There was a moving towards that where you were ignoring it. I
didn't realize what was wrong with me, and I kept saying I need to go and get checked. I'm just off. I'm tired. I feel lethargic. I'll sleep and not feel rested. I felt weak. I started walking downstairs. My legs would shake real bad to the point where right before I went to the hospital, I couldn't even walk down the stairs. I was so weak. But unfortunately, that's the mental strength I've always had. I'll be all right. I'll grind through this. I'm probably just not feeling good, like a fucking idiot. So I would tell people, if you don't feel right, it's better safe than sorry. Go get checked. And I didn't carry health insurance at the time. So I was like, oh, the ordeal of this, I got to get insurance so I can get a physical and just see what's wrong. And I just didn't get on it. I let it slide too long.
All right.
So
and finally it's caught up.
My only regret is the only regret that I have is maybe if I would have checked myself earlier, they could have caught it and my kidneys could have come back. So I'm upset with myself for not, but I swallow it, and it is what it is, and there's no reason to sweat on it because it is what it is. That my kidneys have failed and I need a transplant, and it is what it is. So worrying about that isn't going to do shit for me. So I'm not going to lie. When the doctor came in and said I need a transplant, I mean, you're talking to someone who's worked out every day. I've never missed. I don't miss working out. I work out. I'm very consistent. So when I was in the hospital, it was definitely a mind fuck for me, big time. But I knew I'd get through it and I'd survive it, and that was all I mattered at the time, And as soon as I got out of the hospital on a Thursday, and 2 days later I was in the gym, and probably not the smartest thing, but I brought some friends with me in case I passed out because I was still having blood pressure issues. But I made it, and I took it as easy as I could, and now I'm back to, I work out about every day. But I have treatment 3 times a week. They monitor. I feel good. I feel better. I feel much better.
Good. So what are you learning through this situation?
Well, anytime someone has a medical issue like this, I had grudges with people because I hold a grudge like a motherfucker, and I had some grudges with people that I'm like, this is really not that important. It's really not. You start looking at things differently when you nearly die. So, some of those grudges I've buried or gotten past. A lot of people feel alone in the world, and because I see these Facebook posts that make me want to puke. People are just so desperate for attention. They put out their personal business in such desperation of getting some kind of feedback. And I can tell you right now, if you feel alone in the world and you don't feel loved, you have an issue like this. I was amazed at how many people visited me, called me, contacted me, but just visited me in the hospital. I couldn't believe people that I'm just casual acquaintances with that came to visit me in the hospital. Took time out of their day to come visit me in the hospital. It was very moving. My family was there every day. My brother literally lived in the hospital with me for 2 weeks.
Right.
So, I mean, I've never felt so loved. So this situation was terrible, but I can say I have never felt so supported and loved. And I get people all the time reaching out to me on social media that I don't even know. How you doing? How's it going? You find a kidney yet? Just being nice. It's nice when people are nice. It's nice,
From my own perspective, you use the word loved, but you are loved at that gym at LVAC at 215.
I'm known. I wouldn't say I'm loved. I'm known.
Dude, you're an icon there.
No, I'm just known.
No.
I mean, I told literally when I went to the hospital, because I'm not one to put my personal life on social media. So when I went to the hospital, I didn't put it on social media. I called one human being. I called my father and told him, because I was like, Dad, I don't think I'm going to be there for Thanksgiving tomorrow. I felt really bad about that. And so once he came to visit me and my brother found out, and he came, like, once it seeped out into my immediate family and then into my really close friends, my family told, it was known. I mean, everybody knew within a couple of days. I mean, it was just crazy. And I wasn't like I only put a post on social media when I was getting out of the hospital because I needed a kidney. So I kind of couldn't keep that a secret. Hey, I need a kidney. Anyone want to help? And I have a very rare blood type, so that didn't make it any better. So, but a lot of people reached out to me. You know, I had a friend from junior high school come visit me in the hospital. Haven't spoken to this dude in, I don't know, 25 years, 30 years. Come visit me in the hospital. We used to live near each other when I was in junior high school.
So how do you make that kind of impact on people then, Justin?
Beats the hell out of me, man. So, some people are just nice.
You know, the great irony of this is that, you know, as a self-proclaimed dick, right, people gravitate towards you, and you're a straight shooter.
Yeah, I'm a dick, but I'm a straight shooter. Okay. So I have a lot of friends in the fitness realm or whatever that they'll come and ask my opinion for no other reason. I'm not special, but for no other reason than I'll give them my truest opinion. Whether it hurts their feelings or not, I don't care. If you ask, you shall receive. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing and bullshit anybody.
So do you think that's a big reason why people gravitate towards you?
I think the fact that they get what they feel is a realness from me. I'm just a very blunt person. I lie like other people, but I'm very blunt. So I say it how I see it. You know, that kind of makes it easy if people talk to me because I'm an open book. People ask me something, I'll answer it. I don't care. Well, ask me what I'm on, what I've taken. Like, I don't care. There's no, I mean, to me, a person will only lie about what they do if they're ashamed of it. So I don't have shame for the chemistry I've used in my bodybuilding life. I don't have shame for the things I do or don't do. Like, it is what it is. Right. I don't have shame for it. So I have no problem telling people. And I think people like that because I'm very straightforward. That's all.
So your approach to life hasn't changed a whole lot through the diagnosis.
No.
You're still hard charger, go get it.
I try to be.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm not super positive as far as, oh, yay, you know, say it and it'll be like, but I do believe if you say, man, I'm tired, you're going to be tired because you're putting that in your own head. Your self-talk is your programming to your brain. So if you say you're tired, I'm tired, you're going to be tired. You know, and the only way to fight through something is say, I'm not tired, I'm not tired. Now, is it going to make you awake? No. But you have a lot better chance of surviving what you're doing if you tell yourself, I'm not tired, I can get through this. Then if you say, I'm tired, I can't do this. You know, when I train someone and I put weight on there and they say, oh, I can't do this. They haven't even tried. I can't do this. How the fuck do you know you can't do it? And then they try it and they do it and I want to punch them in the face. Like just try. Your self-talk, because once you've done something, it becomes very easy to do it again. So you don't know till you know. And your self-talk is, if you really look at the brain, you're programming in the computer of your brain. It's your programming, your self-talk. And we all have very, very, very negative self-talk. You make a wrong, oh, I'm so stupid, I'm so stupid. Like, okay, if you say you're stupid, you're stupid. Then, you know, he who says that he can and he who says that he can't, they're both usually right. I mean, really, if you say you can't or you suck at something, then I doubt you're going to be very good at it. So self-talk is, I just try to, I don't want to say I'm upbeat, but I try to be a positive realist. You know, I'm not into that secret shit where it's like, oh, just will it in the universe and it'll come true. That's bull. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. It's still not come true. No, you have to go and fucking make it happen. I can't stand that saying, it'll be if it's going to be or whatever the fuck that is. It's stupid. It's not going to be. You got to go make it be. If you want something, go make it. You know, you want a relationship to work, go make it. You want a job, go get it. It's not going to come to you. So that's life. You got to go get it. And the thing is, when you are into physical fitness the way I am, you learn that really quickly, because I wanted to have abs really bad, but that didn't give me abs. But I wanted it really bad. That still didn't give me abs. So I busted my ass and then I got abs. So it is what it is. And you learn that that's the way it is. When you want something, you got to work at it. And a lot of people are willing to put 2 or 3 weeks in, but they're not willing to put the extended period of time in it. And then they fall short because they give up too easy on themselves.
Right.
You know, that's how it is.
So is it safe to say your priorities are people and fitness? People,
oh, hell no. No, hell no. People? No, fuck people. I love dogs.
Okay.
And then all other animals, except for cats. and people are somewhere way down the list.
Okay.
People suck, bro.
See, that's
I'm nice and I'm friendly and I'm kind, and yes, I'm a people person, but people are shit for the most part. That's why I stay at home with my 3 dogs.
okay.
Because their love is genuine. They don't fake me out. They're not gonna,
So animals,
pretend.
fitness, then people.
Yeah, animals.
people
animals,
think of very
fitness,
distant,
burritos,
burritos.
then people.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Something like that. I mean, again, enough people burn you in life, and you start to have a rotten view of people. I don't let that destroy my meeting someone new or whatever. But yeah, I like animals over people. Honestly.
Right. Now, it's kind of a tough question, but when you talk about getting burnt in life, what are some of those things that I'm not asking for names of people.
No.
But
For me, it's very simple. Your word is your everything. Your word is your everything. And that simply, to me, means if you say you're going to call me tomorrow, you don't call me. Your word is shit. And once it becomes shit, I mean, I don't know how many strikes you give somebody, but the reality is if you have a friend and they say, I'll call you tomorrow, and they don't enough times, when they say, I'll call you, you would just ignore it. And now if I ignore what you're saying, it means I don't trust you anymore. I don't trust your words. And if I can't trust your words, I don't want you near me. So your word is everything to me. So if I have someone in my life that they are unreliable, they are barely in my life, if at all, in my life at all, because I can't stand that. I don't waste my time with that. I expect more from that. So people say, oh, they were so wrong to me. If it's habitual, that's on you. You let that shit happen, because if it happens more than a few times, you got to cut that motherfucker off. I have no problem cutting someone out of my life. No problem whatsoever.
So where did you get your honor code from? Now, the easy answer would be my dad, but really, you obviously, if I'm hearing it correctly, you operate by a code of honor. You have a very driven honor code, and obviously in our culture, that's not very important or necessary for a lot of people around you. And so how do you get such an exceptional honor code?
Again, the golden rule for me is what you do to me, I'm going to do to you, in the sense, if you treat me with respect, I'll treat you with respect. If you say you're going to call me, you call me, then I'll always honor my word. If you always honor yours. If you don't honor yours, then there's no reason to talk. I just think that's common sense. I can't, listen, I bartended for 5 years at a slot bar, even though I don't drink. Yeah, I know. But, I find it amusing, and I'm not trying to down women, but again, I'm a male bartender, so girls would come in drinking and they would tell me about their ex-boyfriends or whatever, how shitty they were. And it's funny that people in general do this, because what you're doing is you're desperately trying to get someone on your side, and you're trying to get sympathy, which I find amusing, because if you say, Justin, my ex-wife, man, she was a piece of shit, and I'm finally away from her. She was terrible? Yeah, she was just terrible. How long were you married? Was she always terrible? Yeah, she's always been terrible. How long you been married? 7 years. Now I think you're a fucking retard. You're telling me you stayed with a terrible person for 7 years? You're a fucking moron. Like, why am I talking to you?
Right.
People want sympathy because they let someone treat them like shit over and over again. I've had relationships where the girl did me what I would say is wrong, but the reality is, if she did me wrong a few times and I stuck around, I'm the fucking moron. I'm just as culpable as she is. Now, she's the one that did the wrong things in my mind, but the bottom line is I stuck around. These people want to bitch about their relationship sucking, but they supposedly identified it quickly or early, and they stay in it. Well, whose fault is it now? That's how I feel all relationships are. I don't care if it's guy, like a friendship. If your friend screws you over, or your friend doesn't do what they say they're going to do over and over again, and you stick around, I don't want to hear about so-and-so screwing you over, because he's already done this. Par for the course, right? I mean, all these cliche sayings, but you keep staying around, so you're the idiot. And that's my code, I guess. If you treat me good, I'll treat you good. You treat me like shit, I'm gone. And I don't give a fuck if we're related.
You see things differently.
I guess I'm pretty fucked up. I don't know.
Well, I guess, and I asked the
and
question.
I'm not trying to say I'm right about shit. Trust me, I know I'm wrong about a lot of things, and I know I can be pig-headed about a lot of things. But again, if you're good to me, I'll always be good to you.
Right.
I have friends that I would do anything for, because I know they would do anything for me.
It's probably a small selection of people.
Unfortunately, it's just because, it's hard to find good people.
Well, maybe you're wise enough to recognize that in life, in all reality, every person probably only has a handful of people that. I think
we have layers to friendships. We call everybody our friends, but they're acquaintances. If I say hi to you in the gym and we speak, briefly, we're acquaintances. We're not friends. You know, your friends are the ones you call 3 in the morning when your car breaks down and they don't hesitate. Because I'm the type of person, if I use my brother, for example, because he's the most important person in my life. If I call my brother at 3 o'clock in the morning and asked him to do anything, he wouldn't ask me or say a damn word. He would just be there because he's not allowed to say a damn word. Shut your fucking mouth and show up, because that's what I would do for you. I don't want to hear a word about why. I don't want to. That's not the way it works in my life. If my sister calls me and says, I need your help, I don't have a choice. That's my sister, and I have an obligation to my sister, you know, as long as she gives me the same respect back. And again, if you're my family and you treat me right, I'm going to do anything for you. That's what I think friendship is. Not, hey, Justin, I need some help moving. Oh, well, I don't want to move. Oh, dude, I don't want to help you move. But if you're my friend, it's my obligation, because if I need your help, your ass is helping me. I'm not going to give you a choice. You're helping me, or we're not friends anymore, because that's what friendship is.
Right.
If I can't count on you when I need you, why are we friends? That's the, I mean, hey, that's what, you know when your friends are, is like, the saying, when you're broke or you're in need, that's when you find out who your friends are. So when you're in the hospital bed near death and people reach out to you and shit, like, it makes you feel loved, and you didn't realize certain people felt that way for you or cared that much. It's a great feeling. So for my people, I would do anything because I know they would do anything for me.
Have you ever been married or had someone close to you? Hey, man, because
I've been engaged 3 times and married once.
Okay. Engaged 3 times and married once.
Because I like to make bad decisions.
Okay. Engaged 3 times, married once. How long did that marriage last?
That marriage lasted 10 whole months, bro.
10 months. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, because you're a straight shooter, I'm going to return the favor and just ask some, straight shooter
you could
questions.
ask anything you want, bro. I don't give a shit.
Any kids?
No, I have no children.
No children?
No.
Would you ever want to have kids?
I put it like this. I don't desire children myself, but if I was in love with someone and we were together and she wanted that or felt she needed that, absolutely, if that's what she wanted. And that's not me conceding that. Like, if you want to make your partner happy, if a woman I'm with got pregnant, I wouldn't be upset. My life wouldn't be over. Do I purposely desire to have children? Not necessarily, no. But if it happened, it happens. I'm not going to say, oh, you have to get an abortion. This can't happen. If it's what she wants, I mean, come on, you have to,
So a family, having kids, having, progenity, I guess, if that's the word, having children to live out your name and your family lineage, it's not a big priority to you?
No, not at all. No.
Okay.
It's not again, I'm 42. I don't know. Maybe when I'm 52, because nowadays it's like, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, yeah. 65, I'm going to start a family.
Yeah, basically. I'm going to find a nice Swedish girl about 22. Just kidding.
So engaged 3 times, married once.
Yeah.
No plan in the future to maybe try
I'm
this again?
hoping I never get caught in a relationship again, honestly, at the point I'm at now. That could change. Hopefully it doesn't, but...
I'm assuming she'd have to be a pretty intense human being.
Yeah, just to put up with me.
To keep
That's
up.
probably my number one thing. I need a woman that can put up with me.
Right.
I am a lot.
She'd have to be pretty thick-skinned.
Very thick-skinned. You have to have a good sense of humor, and I love a girl who can give it back, you know, because I talk a lot of shit. I'm the type of person, if I'm just polite and nice to you, it's because I don't really... I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You're whatever. But if I like you, I'm going to talk shit to you.
Okay.
I'm that guy.
All right.
I might as well have been raised in a bullpen or something because that's what guys do.
Sure.
Guys talk shit to each other. My brother and I, my best friends, we all talk shit to each other. That's just the way you show affection. It's playful banter. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings for real, but that's just the kind of person I am. I'm that guy.
Right.
So I need a woman who can handle that. And so far I've been very unsuccessful.
Are there a few people in your life that you feel that can put you in your place?
Fuck no.
Haven't met him yet?
They can try. No, I'm just kidding. There's people I'll bow down. Like my father is still my father. His words mean a lot. He's thrown me out of his house a few times as an adult. But I'm the type of person, I don't really care who you are. I'm going to say what I say. I don't care if you like it, because I feel like if me and you are genuinely friends, I don't have to agree with you. That's not what friendship is. I would say politically, I'm a conservative independent is what I am. Okay. Yes, I voted for Trump. I would have voted for Obama the first time. But I'm a conservative minded independent. I have, for example, I have a gay black friend who's extremely liberal. So all gay matters issues matter to him a lot because of personal reasons. All black issues matter to him a lot because of personal. It's obvious. I mean, that's perfectly fine. It's understandable. We're different backgrounds. We have disagree. Like, we go out to eat and we talk all the time, and we don't agree on anything. But I still love the guy. I'd do anything for him. He still loves me. Like, I find it amusing this day and age where people disagree with each other, but they can't be friends. Like, my thing is, if we're friends, I'm going to do the fuck I want, and you're going to tolerate it because you're my friend, and vice versa. You have the same ability to say things I don't like or do things. It is what it is. That's you. I support you, not necessarily supporting your ideas and what you do, but I support you. You know, it is what it is. That's life. People that can't be friends with someone on the other side of an issue, I think that's fucking sad is what that is.
It's tribalism, and it's rampant today.
Honestly, I would say it's worse than it's ever been now. It's worse than it's ever been.
Yeah. And social media obviously is insane. The reason for it.
It's insane, the race wars and the rhetoric between it's mind-boggling, because I don't think I've ever personally witnessed racism in my life, like in front of me. I mean, I'm not going to say it doesn't exist, but
right.
To me, that's people's bias. Nowadays, everything is racist. Everything is this phobia, that phobia. Like, people just misuse terms left and right. If you don't like something, you're phobic of it. Like, it's insane. Like, you can not like something and not be afraid of it. But no, you make I'm not for same-sex marriage. Oh, you hate gay people. Oh, you're homophobic. Like, what? Just because you're not for something doesn't mean you hate it. You know? Yeah, do Muslim people make me nervous? Yes, fuck right they do. Call me Islamophobic? A phobia is an irrational fear. I don't think it's irrational in this country to have a fear of someone who's extremely Muslim after what happened on 9/11. That's not my fault Muslims decided to fly planes into towers. It's not. I didn't do that. I didn't ask for that. I don't know the Muslim religion really. I was born and raised in America. So the only thing an American sees of that is mostly negative. Well, you're going to have a kind of a fear. It's not irrational to have a fear of something that's blown up people in your country. It's not irrational. It doesn't mean I'm going to hold a sign in my front yard. You know what I'm saying? That's that's ridiculous. But you cannot be for something. It doesn't mean you're staunchly against it. That's the thing. You cannot have liberal mindset and not hate liberals, and vice versa. Like, the way Trump's hated it's scary. It's scary. The rhetoric of everybody's Hitler now if you don't agree with them. So I think all this political shit steeps down into people on the regular level, and people are afraid to talk to each other freely. You know, oh, well, I can't say that in front of Steve because Steve's black. Like, isn't Steve your friend? Oh, I can't say it in front of Stacy because she's in this relationship. Like, what the fuck? Like, again, I say what I say in front of whoever. I don't really give a fuck.
Right. You have, in a way, I think you have a destabilizing and then a stabilizing effect on people, because if someone's talking to you and they think they got something figured out and you come from left field and just hit them in the...
I'm very much a shock value type of guy.
It's going to destabilize them in such a...
See, my thing is I'm very opinionated. I'm very opinionated, but I don't let my opinions rule me. So if me and you are staunchly against, if you're a religious background and you're pro-life, for example, if you're pro-life, well, I'm pro-choice. I don't hate you. I don't, whatever. It is what it is. I understand it's a very divisive topic, but I'm not. You have your opinions and you're right to them. I have mine. So what makes me laugh is people are like, it's not fair that you don't like this. Well, if you can like it and that's fair, then I cannot like it, and that's fair. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. We have to agree to disagree. That's life. If everybody believes in the same shit, that's communism, and that's never a good thing. That's what makes the diversity thing great, because you're getting backgrounds of other people and cultures that aren't your own. That's how you learn. Yeah. Has
Las Vegas always been a very diverse city? Now, currently, if you look around...
the high school I went to was very Hispanic.
Okay.
The area of town was very Hispanic. I went to Las Vegas High School, graduated in 94. It was a very Hispanic population, but
not multicultural in the sense, like for instance, I tell people at the gym, at any given time, you probably have 20, 30 different countries represented.
Oh, absolutely. I think more so. Again, I think the migration, just more years have gone by, so more people from other countries have come here, or different religious backgrounds or cultural backgrounds. And I think it's always a good thing, because, again, if you're a white farm boy, you don't know Mexican food. You don't know Chinese food. You don't know soul food. You don't know these things till you meet someone in that culture. And the only reason people are so afraid of other cultures is because they don't know them. So if you don't get to know someone of a different ethnicity, that's your loss, because you're not going to learn about their culture from fucking TV. You know, you meet a Hispanic person and you become friends with them, and they're like, well, I got to go to my sister's quinceañera. Well, what's that? And they tell you. Now you've learned what that is. Oh, we're having tamales tomorrow. You want to try some? Oh, my God, these are delicious. What are these? I've never had these before. You're learning another culture, and you don't realize it, but through food and through traditions, you learn cultures.
Is it possible that what we're experiencing in America is growing pains?
Well, I think it's funny that everyone's trying so hard to smash their culture down other people's throats. You know, that's what I don't like. I don't like when people come here from other countries and try to change our country to their liking. You're supposed to assimilate into our country. If I moved to France tomorrow, I would think it would be incumbent upon me to learn French. That's on me. I can't go there and expect them to start teaching English in school. That's ridiculous. But that's what people do. They come here from other places, whatever country, and they expect, well, oh, I have a right. You don't have a fucking right. What are you talking about? You came here because where you came from sucks. And I love it when people come here from nations where if our culture went to their countries, they'd kill you. But we come here and they're like, no, I should be able to make this right here and have this right there. And, oh, I want to build a mosque over here. And, oh, that's no problem. You can build a mosque wherever you want. But put a Christian church or a Catholic church in the middle of their country, and they'll blow that shit up. So I think it's funny how Americans are so willing to allow people to do in our country what we can't do in their country. I mean, fair is fair. This whole build a wall thing, it's hilarious to me. There's already a border. What the fuck are you talking about, build a wall?
It's to keep us from leaving.
But build a wall, it's how about we fix our borders? I don't give a fuck if you use a wall, a fence, whatever, a drone, whatever. Fix the borders. But these words, all of a sudden take on so much more meaning. Oh, a wall, like what? Every country has fucking walls around their borders. You have a front door and you lock it. Oh, you're a racist. You have a front door and you lock it. You should leave your border unlocked. What is that? What is that? Canada has a border. Mexico has a border from the countries next to it. Like, hello. Vatican City has a border. Like, hello. But we're racist if we don't. Like, I don't understand why it's racism. Everything is racism. Look, if you don't want illegal immigration to fill our country from wherever, we just happen to border Mexico, so it's a majority of Mexicans. But that means you hate Mexicans because you don't want illegal immigrants to come here? You didn't specify. It doesn't matter if they're Mexican. I don't want 10,000 French people just to walk in. They need to come here properly. Like we would have to go to their country properly. Mm-hmm. It just makes sense. But this country is so divisive. It's insane. I used to watch a lot of politics. Now I can't stomach it at all, bro. I can't stomach it.
Where do you get your information from? Obviously, you're well versed in a lot of different topics. Do you read a lot? Where do you get your information?
I don't know if I can read. I'm kind of dumb.
Oh, come on now. All right. So where do you get your information
I watch
from?
news, unfortunately, because that's not really, you don't know what you're getting these days. You know, I've literally just canceled my cable because I don't want to watch cable news anymore because it's like they're feeding you. You know, the Facebook shows you a lot of stuff, but nowadays you never know what you see is real.
Right.
Just talking to people and just trying to keep your ears open to things and stuff. But nowadays the news, someone's guiding you. You know, someone's guiding your opinions because they're pushing certain tones of the story, you know, to make it look good or bad. So it's very dangerous nowadays. Even our information is so skewed.
Right.
So
we don't have a whole lot of time left, but I do want you to explain to everyone your clothing line that you've developed. Can you tell us about
Fit Republic Apparel is what I started. I just wanted something of my own in the fitness industry. So I just, you know, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, pants. I'm trying to develop a full clothing line, affordable / you know, more or less comfortable. I haven't really gotten into all the douchey, you know, types of like guys wearing stretch pants and shit and sleeveless hoodies, which I don't really understand. Why you want to have a hood on if you have no fucking sleeves, but
so you can cover your
head while your arms and shoulders show. I just
incognito
don't really get all the fashion.
Disguise.
And guys are wearing lady pants left and right with these joggers, and you're wearing capri pants, bro. You're literally wearing women's pants.
Hey, Perkins, the one of the bench players for the Cavs. He's huge, 7 foot tall,
well, when you're
300 pounds, and he's wearing capris there in the sun.
Yeah, but those are probably regular pants. They just don't fit him right.
No, they're capris, man.
It's the look. And again, I don't fault anyone for wearing shit because that's the look now. But in my day, in your day, those were high waters. You got made fun of because you're wearing well, it looks like you're wading through a flood.
The hand-me-downs don't fit anymore.
Yeah, it's like I don't quite understand that, and they're like all tapered and tight. Like I don't think men should be in really tight anything really, but whatever.
Including Speedos on show.
Yeah, like I said, they shouldn't be. I did that, and I regret it.
If you could, my personal opinion, Fit Republic's a perfect name for just the fitness industry. I mean,
I just wanted something not bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people I know, when I get fitter, I'll wear it. It's like, oh my God, it's not about that. I don't care what your fitness level is. It's just, I thought the name was cool because it tried to encompass all of fitness. I don't care if you do yoga or cycling or Zumba. It's just people that are people that care about their fitness. And if your fitness is just going for a walk in the morning, so be it. It's just about being fit. People think because I look a certain way that's what I think everyone. No, I don't care if you're into CrossFit or whatever. I'm supposed to hate CrossFit automatically because I'm a bodybuilder. It is, do what you do. Do what you do. Lift something, move something, be active. It's good for you on every level. Yes, it's physically good for you, but hell, that's like, to me, that's the last step. It's more emotionally and mentally good for you. You have a hard day at work, go for a jog, go for a walk. I'm telling you, it's the best way to clear your head. Do yoga, do something physical. Any physical interaction is going to be something that's going to be good for you mentally. So, and your mind is everything. If your mind's healthy, your body will follow because you're going to live a certain lifestyle.
The name's perfect, Fit Republic. That's what, when I hear the name, what you said is really what comes to mind. It's a movement of people that understand the importance of being active. And
that's really what it is. People think that I want everyone to be a jacked person. Like, no, dude, just be fit. My parents wear it. I try to make things that anyone would wear, fitness in general. Like I see how you work out. You do a lot of CrossFit type shit. Not my style.
Functional stuff.
But you work out very functional. It's not my style. But you're fit. Hell, you're way fitter than me. If I ran to your front door right now, I'd probably pass out. But aesthetically, I look a certain way.
But if I need to remove a refrigerator,
oh God, like my
Justin's
dad.
On speed dial.
My dad always wants me to help him move something, and then he always bitches because I'm all show and no go. Because I'm like, this is heavy. I'm always tired from the gym, bro. I got nothing left.
Get me before.
So I don't go out much. I'm on the couch all the time because I give the gym all my physical strength.
It's
all
hard
for a look, bro.
It's hard to believe, but we've known each other for almost 9 years now.
Has it been that long?
It has been that long.
Damn.
I remember having conversations with you on those stair steppers, and
I haven't done I haven't done cardio in 2 years.
You are. When I think of LVAC, there's a few faces that will come to mind, and you're one of them.
Thanks, bro. I don't know if that's good or bad.
You're a pillar, dude.
Stop. Bro, you're in there religiously, and you're very functional. You do a lot of shit that, most people couldn't do because their hearts would explode.
I used to try to lift like you as far as bodybuilding type, and then I just started hurting myself too bad.
I mean, really, it's
knees, backs.
You're not
shoulders.
gonna. There's no longevity in heavy training. There's no longevity,
and that's exactly what I recognized. And when I hit my 30s, I just made the conscious decision. Look, people are gonna look better than me, but my main goal is to be able to run with my kids.
Honestly, when you have muscle,
hiking,
when you have muscle, as long as you stimulate it, you'll never lose it.
Yeah.
Just if you have it.
Yes.
If you're trying to build it, then you have to work out heavy to challenge your muscles to make them grow. But if you have muscle, you don't have to continuously work out like that to keep it. Stimulate it, you'll keep it.
Yeah.
So you're never going to lose a certain amount of size, your muscularity because you work out.
I, like you, feel that it's probably one of the biggest releases in my life is that the physical exercise, that exertion. It's more than just muscle. It's brain. It's chemistry. But what I'm having to learn, and I think maybe through your struggle that you're having to learn too, is the balance of it. Because I can give myself to something and not look back. I was going to ask you earlier if you considered a career in the Marine Corps, but I don't know if they're going to take anyone.
Unfortunately, I always got that when I was younger. But if you can't sense the problem of authority I have, then let me spell it out.
No, the Marines love that. They just break you, and then
they try to break you. Fuck that. No one's breaking me. I've been tried to be break by some men in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So my dad was heavy-handed, but not like my stepfather, obviously.
Understand.
But I was raised in a military household, so military wasn't for me. I felt like I got enough of it at home.
Right. So in the last 2 minutes or so, would you like to give some parting wisdom to those who are listening or watching?
Honestly, if it's a fitness thing, I would simply say that every day counts. I'll start tomorrow. Like, just get up and do something. Get up and do something. It's not as hard as people think and want to make it. Oh, I wish I could look like you. Well, anyone can look like anything they want to. It's up to them. You know, you just got to small steps. That's the problem with our culture. Our culture is, I want it now. Well, that's not the way it works. And that's what I love about a nice body. You earned that. If you have a nice physique, male or female, you have some muscle tone, that didn't just happen. That's not an accident. And I don't care if you're genetically blessed. If you don't eat a certain way to sustain that, you won't sustain that. Anybody can ruin their nice body that they had genetically gifted to them. You can eat bonbons all day, and you're not going to stay in shape. So it's really, you know, what you put in your mouth. That's like my best advice to a woman. Control what goes in your holes, and your life will be better. You know, they eat emotionally a lot of times. They have emotional eating issues. A lot of times breakups create bodybuilders because you're sad and you're sorrow. You take that energy and that sadness and take it to something physical. And the gym is an extension. It doesn't have to be the gym. I'm afraid of the gym. Go for a walk, a run, a jog, yoga, Pilates. I don't give a shit what it is. Do something physical for yourself. It'll help you mentally get through the toughest times. Any motivational speaker that you listen to, I listen to them every morning. I listen to montages every morning on YouTube. Anyone that you hear, they'll always tell you, you have to do something physical. You have to stimulate your mind through a physical activity. 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, whatever it is, but you have to do every single one of them. All the best motivational, you know, therapists or motivational speakers. You know, your physical mind and your body are so connected. Get up. All these, oh, Mondays suck. Mondays suck. Like, okay, well, it's going to suck because you say it's going to suck. Every day is a great day. You don't know what's going to happen just because Monday you work. You have great relationships at work. You make something great. You know, you make it great. So I'm happy every day. I don't give a fuck if it's Monday or Sunday. It's a day, and I'm awake and alive. So, you know, you have something to be thankful for, and you make that day as good as you can. So,
Justin, thank you so much for taking your time. I feel like I'm in the presence of royalty here.
Shut the fuck up.
All those at LVAC are going to be watching this and saying, that's that Justin guy.
The thing is, if you go to LVAC and you know me, then this is no different. This is how I talk.
Right. So. Well, and to be honest, after, you know, almost 9 years of seeing you and saying hi and, you know, in passing, it's awesome to be able to sit down and get to know you and hear your story and just kind of figure out what makes Justin tick. So you have a lot to share. You have a lot to offer to other people. And I may ask the question earlier, you know, why is it that you're so admired and liked being a self-proclaimed dick? But after listening to the podcast,
I have a lot of references if you need help with that.
Well, Justin, you're a great man, and I'm thankful for you know your influence on my life and the small friendship that we've developed. I hope it continues, but thank you most of all for sharing your story with other people.
Absolutely, brother.
All right. Thanks, man.
Good times.